So in preparation for this, for the last year and a half, I've been going around and asking a series of questions, kind of like a little survey. And not only did I ask people in person, I also posted the question on Facebook, Instagram, in groups or whatever. And just wanted to test to see if my theory was correct. So I don't want to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, like these are just my thoughts, like I didn't do my due diligence and actually research this shit. One of the questions that I asked was, give me 3 characteristics that you deem necessary to be present in order for you to consider a man a good man. And how would you go about determining whether those characteristics were present or not? And I got pretty much the same answers with the exception of a few variations. So I'm just gonna focus on the main 4, right? So the first one was to be able to provide. The second one was be able to protect. The third one was be a good father. And the fourth one was an honest man. Oh, it was one more. A few women said a man of God. However, I expect that one to show up more than it actually did. I had a few women say that, and most of them were like older ladies. And then, like I said, the second part of the question was, how would you go about determining whether he had those characteristics or not? Now, that one was interesting because it didn't give me any answers for that. And to be honest, the first part of the question, give me 3 characteristics you deem necessary to be present in order to consider a man a good man. A lot of women didn't answer that either. A lot of them said, give me a minute, let me get back to you. But the majority of them did answer that question right away, and it was the answers that I gave. But back to the last one, though. The last one, I might have got 3 or 4 answers out of all the women I asked for a year and a half. And like, if I include Instagram and Facebook, I probably reached about minimum 600 people. And in person, I asked over 100 women. It might have been over 200. I don't know to be exact, but it was a lot. But yeah, they couldn't answer the question. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that after I revisit the first question. So, to provide, let's examine that. When they say provide, what they meant was a man that can provide for them. In order for a man to be able to provide, he would have to be a hard worker. He would have to be goal-oriented. He would have to be financially stable or on his way to becoming financially stable. And effort toward doing all of that would be apparent in his day-to-day movement. Protect. When they say protect, basically meant they don't want no bitch ass nigga that's not gonna fight for him or that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, not stand up for themselves, right? Or his family. But that's all they were focused on. To be able to protect would not only mean physically, which I'm not discounting a man being able to physically protect, because that's part of being a man. on any account, whether you're protecting others or you're protecting yourself. Right? However, there's other things to protect. Like, you have to be protected spiritually. You have to be protected emotionally. You have to be protected financially. And in order for one to do that, they would have to be knowledgeable. Like, a man can't protect you spiritually if he has no knowledge of his spiritual self, or if he doesn't have any knowledge of a religion or any type of thing that he can teach you regarding spirituality. He can't protect you if he's emotionally unstable, because if he's emotionally unstable, then he can't emotionally support himself. So he definitely can't emotionally support you or children. And to be protected financially, one would have to have financial knowledge. Right? What was that? Oh yeah, a good father. Right? When they say be a good father, I think they meant, and I'm assuming, right? But I think they meant a man that is present, a man that like does things with his kids, a man that provides for his kids, a man that protects his kids, those types of things, right? But being a father doesn't just mean those things. Not to be a good father, right? Because the purpose of raising children and being a good parent is preparing your children to be productive citizens and be better versions of you. In order to do that, once again, one would have to have knowledge. They would have to be emotionally stable. In order to provide for the children, they would have to be financially stable and have financial knowledge to protect the stability that they're providing. They would have to have, they would definitely have to have courage. Therefore, they would have to walk in faith and be a man of God, or whatever religion, like even if they're atheists, they would have to have some type of sense of belief in self in order to propel them to do anything. And then the other one was an honest man, right? An honest man, when they said that, I'm assuming that they meant a man that doesn't cheat on them. Because I asked some women, they said they wanted an honest man, but they date dope dealers. So what's interesting about that is, so when they say an honest man, they mean an honest man who's not going to cheat on them. They really don't want an honest man, because an honest man wouldn't lie on his taxes. An honest man wouldn't commit crimes. An honest man wouldn't do anything dishonest, because therefore they wouldn't be an honest man, right? And so, and I want to revisit the man of God, right? And let me be clear, the majority of the people that I asked, I'm assuming were of Christian faith, or either grew up in a Christian faith household. I don't recall, or not to my knowledge, did I ask any Hinduists or Jodys or any Muslims or anything like that. Not to my knowledge. That's possible, but I didn't ask people their religious belief or their ethnicity when I asked the questions. However, no matter what religion one believes in, to be a man of God would require them to walk in the path of whatever God, or walk along the guidelines of whatever faith they believe in is set for that religion or faith, right? So if we're talking about Christianity, one would have to be Christ-like. And Christ had a doctrine that mentioned turn the other cheek, right? So while I know some people are probably going to say this example is extreme, the principle of the example is the same. Christ was passive. So that would, and he was extremely generous. he gave more than he gave his last. Right? So if a woman is with the man and he's the type of man that would turn the other cheek, and he's the type of man that would give his last to someone else, that would make him Christ-like, but would women still be attracted to him? Or is that the type of man that women see themselves with? So now I want to get back to the second part of the question that I asked, is how do you deem whether those characteristics are present within that man or not? And I didn't get I didn't get hardly any responses, right? And that's interesting, because if you can't determine whether the man is a good man or not, then how do you determine who you get a pussy to?
Oh,